Hi, this is Philly's Finds. Today I wanted to go over a few things that I like to do in preparing to do a junk journal. This is a cover that I've just started doing for a Halloween junk journal. I had picked up at the store a greeting card at the Dollar Tree that I've already used part of it on the inside. I have this one here. I hadn't decided where to use it in the junk journal as yet, but I loved the saying on it. When creatures come crawling out into the night and the moon shines down with an eerie light and shadowy shapes appear left and right. That was the beginning of that one. So, I was going to show you how I got a book in order to, get it ready to be covered and what I go about doing in order to do that. So, grabbed a book. This is a book that I found at the Dollar Tree. It's just a basic, simple book. In fact, the cover, you can use pieces of it if you want, It is fairly heavy duty paper, so it could be used in different ways in junk journaling. But I was going to show you how I like to strip these books. Now, most books have the spine on it that separates out, and you can see here where it has a little bit of a separation there. Some are easy, some are not. But when I do my covers, I don't completely strip everything out of the center. I like to keep these end pages intact, and I use them to cover this center area and gives more reinforcement. So when I'm looking at a book, you can see right here where these pages separate and the end pages are kind of stuck to it. That's where I start cutting. And I use my X-Acto knife to begin that. So I will go in here and take an X-Acto knife and go right down the side. Now I always try to make sure I'm paying attention because I don't want to cut through this back binding. That would not be good. And once you start it, it's fairly easy to continue on down. You can hear it going as you're going along. It's usually cutting through that fabric or binding stuff that they have in there. And continue cutting down. Now this one here, they have glued the back to the ends. So you got to be real careful in that, or you will rip and tear. But for this one, you can take your X-Acto knife and go right along that glue, because it's usually just a single little strip that they have along there. Some of them have thicker bits of glue, but this one is just a one line on one side and one on the other. Now it's already torn there, but that's okay because this is going to be covered. So continuing down, pushing through that glue till you get to the end. And you repeat the process on the opposite side. Once again, the end page and this first page, because they are kind of glued together. Go all the way to the end. Of course, you can feel that glue. It's sticking re-sticking itself as it go along. But that's okay, we're going to get it out of there. Once again, going right down where that glue is and just cutting the glue. Now some of them won't have the glue, so you won't have to worry about the glue. It'll just pop right off once you cut that end page off. See, and that takes that off. Leaves the book intact. In fact, this one here has pictures and street things that can be used in junk journaling. Kind of the reason why I picked this one up was because of that. All the interesting bits and pieces in there. Anyway, set that one aside. Now you have this cover, and it has two end pieces. So I just take these guys off now because they're not necessary. You can use them in the junk journal because it is straight paper. This one here has a little writing on it, but still can be used. Here you have your junk journal without those end pieces. Now, if there's anything that needs to be cleaned up, you can go in here and pick and clean this off if you want some of this additional stuff off of there. But it's not necessary. You can go down and take the glue. Sometimes the glue will just peel right up and go all the way down the center, but it's not necessary. This is where I work this center section in. So I want to have a binding that is extra strong, and so this becomes stronger with these pieces of paper, and it leaves it a smooth edge going in. So usually what I will do is fold the one side over. That way I know exactly where it's at, and then I can just take a pair of scissors and cut right down the side. That removes that one. And actually that glue is stuck to the paper. So you can go this side here. Now here you have a choice. You can either leave it in place and go all the way over and glue, and then you have a pocket here which you can put things in. A quick place. I have put gussets along here so this comes out. Still glue this in place so that the pocket is gusseted. Or you can completely take it off like I did with this one. I just cut down the side here and left it in place. At this point, you've got your back and your front. Doesn't matter which way because this will all be covered. Or you can leave this and just use this as your cover and not cover it with anything else. I get fat quarters, and that's what I had done with this one over here. Had gotten a fat quarter, which was slightly bigger than the book itself. Gather it up, take off the excess. The excess can go inside, and that's what I'm going to use on this one to cover up that center area. I like the fabric in there because the fabric gives a little extra strength when you're sewing your signatures in. And then I have end pages. That I plan on using on this one. These are from a pack of paper that I got. This pack of paper here that I got at a thrift store for $1, and it was all Halloween seasonal paper. Now you have a choice here. You can either put your end papers underneath and put this over the top and leaving that fringed edge showing, which is I've done many a time, or you can put it underneath if you want a more sharp, clean edge and you don't want that fringe in there. But that's how I get my covers ready for inserting everything in there. Now, with this journal I'm working on, I wanted a more Halloween themed paper. Instead of just plain white or brown paper, what I did is I went and created a bunch of paper. I had gotten this paper here that has these fold lines. It's a heavier, thicker, almost 65-pound cardstock, but not quite. It's probably about 40-pound at a thrift store as well. And I took some acrylic paint in both red, or in purple and black, and mixed them with water, and then dipped these into that paint. So it gets splotches. It has some Halloween colors. Sometimes it tears. Little dribbles and drops on there as the paint is part of what is in there. It's not completely mixed in. This one has almost a swirly look in it. But these papers were all created using acrylic paint. So it's easy to, create papers that will go with what you're working on. I also created some using these here. We're using fabric dyes. So they're a brighter purple. And then they also had some green that I put in there. So this allowed me to spritz and add some texturing and design to them. So they're a little softer. I also are using some of these in this journal that I'm working on. Now, one of the things I have done with this journal, I've got 2 signatures I'm working on, and I gather everything up to do my signatures. This paper I found at the Dollar Tree. It has little flowers in it and gray, so I picked it out. I have dies and stencils. Mask stencil that I used here, and there was a stencil for trees that I had. I also have picked up this die set and have used it throughout as well as this little house die set, which allows me, some more Halloween themed cuts. And so I've used those and stickers, and I've just gone through it. And there's another Tim Holtz die set. This is part of this spider is from another one. But I use these dies to make a very spooky look. Now this one here I used here, and then also used, where is it? The reverse part of it in another spot right here. So if you were to flip that around, you would find it is this part of the die. But this looks like trees. So I chose to keep it and use it. When I get this all done, I'll do a flip through so you can see everything that I've done in it and how it's going to look with all the parts. But this is just a preview and kind of a quick tutorial on how I do my covers and how I, gut and put them in to make them for a junk journal. Please like and subscribe. If you saw anything and you had any questions, please let me know. Thanks and goodbye.